Welcome to the Bookworms podcast with Claire Calla.
And Calla Heinrich.
During today's episode, we will be discussing reading during the summer. Each English class has required reading for the summer, so students can be prepared at the start of next school year, but many of these well-known titles are also classics. Incoming freshmen taking Honors 9 are expected to read The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway and The Pearl by John Steinbeck, two well-known classic authors. I didn't really enjoy any of these books when I read them.
I don't think anybody actually read them in my class. So.
I thought they were just really boring. The Old Man and the Sea, I had a really hard time understanding the point of it. And The Pearl was a little interesting, but it just seemed really juvenile, like the way it was written.
I'm going to be honest, they were really short, and I feel like I blacked out when I read them and came to, and I didn't know anything that I had just read.
SparkNotes was a big help.
Yeah. And then sophomores taking Honors 10. There's no required reading for academic English 10, but for Honors 10, they are required to read A Long Way Gone by Ishmael Bea. And then when I was a sophomore, we were also asked to read Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. I just butchered both of their names, but I tried, so.
I like Things Fall Apart
I did too.
than A Long Way Gone. Long Way Gone was really depressing. I mean, it's like a true story, and it's like important to know about that stuff, and it was like a first-hand account, so it was going to be sad, but especially toward the end where he like started getting PTSD.
Yeah, Things Fall Apart was a fiction story, and while it was based on things that could be true, it was more enjoyable because even though the subject material was a little bit bleaker, it's better to know that things are fake, I guess.
I also enjoyed just like the character development of Okonkwo. I thought it was very interesting.
Yeah.
For 11th grade, both Honors and AP have summer reading. Honors is expected to read The Catcher in the Rye, whereas AP Lang is not asked to read a book, but rather an essay titled Civil Disobedience by Henry David Thoreau. I thought Civil Disobedience was interesting. It was kind of bleak and a hard read, just because it's an older text and it's not about the most interesting thing in the world, and I also enjoyed reading it in the first couple weeks of class while we started taking government, because I thought they like really went hand in hand.
Yeah. I took AP Lang this year, but I've also read The Catcher in the Rye, and I liked it well enough. I don't think that it's one of the greatest books of all time, but I didn't hate reading it. And then Civil Disobedience was an essay, so, you know. Then seniors taking Honors 12 are asked to read something that interests them, and then come to the first day of school ready to share and write about what they read. I actually have no idea what I'm going to be reading. I haven't thought anything about it.
I haven't thought about it too much, but if I had to pick something right now, I'd probably reread a book I read. It's called The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab.
And then seniors taking AP Lit are asked to read a few select chapters of How to Read Literature Like a Professor by Thomas C. Foster. Sounds terrible. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. Sounds awful. Moving on.
I mean, at least you don't need to take notes on that or anything. You just need to read it.
True.
To stay on top of your reading journey this summer, the Peters Township Public Library is a great resource to take advantage of. Throughout July, the library is going to be hosting fun events and reading challenges. I started it last year, like mid-July. I started doing it, and it was pretty fun because the more pages you read, you track them on a app through the library, and the more pages you read, you can earn prizes. I think 1,000 pages is like you get a free book or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The library also offers a variety of fun events for teens, such as book clubs, crafternoons, which is like just an afternoon of crafting, embroidery classes, 3D printings, a writer's club, and much more.
Yeah. But the high school library also has a variety of resources, such as SAT practices, college and high school preparation, scholarship possibilities, and writing and research tools. It's just a great kind of catch-all for anything that you need.
Mm-hmm. And another awesome website is to use Simon Teen, which is just simonteen.com, and it offers free books for free, the entire book, and it changes its selection monthly. It has some pretty great books on there. It's an amazing resource I don't see a lot of people take advantage of.
Okay, that wraps up today's episode on summer reading. Stay tuned for next week's episode where we discuss our favorite books. Thanks so much for listening.